Welcome to another Comox Valley Horticultural Society virtual open garden tour. Today we're at Linda's home in Courtenay, which is a small urban lot, and in 2009 when she started with this project, it basically was lawn, not a whole lot of bushes. And today Linda's going to show us what she's done to transform this lot into the beautiful oasis that we're seeing today. So Linda, thank you for having us, and we're looking forward to the tour.
Hi everybody, and welcome to my small urban Zen garden. I love Portuguese laurels. I would recommend them for anything. Hedges, tall, camouflage. You can also trim them into trees. Look how funky that is with all the different branches and everything popping out. And in the spring, I like to have them pruned into like an ice cream cone on top. And it's the same over here with these ones, doing the threes that we always seem to like to do in gardening. Just gradually over the years, just trim them down to what you like, and then you can put hostas and things in between, and it's just, I just love them, and I would just recommend them for anything.
I really love that it's got this silvery bark that really stands out against the kind of the dark green background and the dark green of the leaf, and it must look beautiful when you get all the blossoms on it.
And also, practically, nowadays with the weather changing, I only buy zone 7 or less plants. And this is a zone 7, hardy, evergreen. You prune it and you've got another foot growing on, which can be kind of a challenge. But other than that, they're just gorgeous, and they can be shaped into anything. I have another one around the side that is like a great big fan that I just love.
Perfect. That's great. So you've got this lovely U in the middle, the
Yes,
columnar U.
it used to be
fits
all
nicely.
open to the very busy street on the corner.
Okay.
So I thought, I just want to have, I don't want to be looking at traffic and all the different houses and things. So I put this in with the grass and the yews and my neighbor's apple tree. I think you call that borrowed landscaping. So I got her apple tree, and it just kind of fills in this whole space and makes it very private.
Exactly.
And also for traffic noise, I have put a little pond in here, and that little bubbling little waterfall, it just helps make it softer and quieter in here, and it helps with some of the traffic noise. It's not like I have not like Saratoga Speedway here, but it's just kind of a nice little change.
And what do you do for cleaning the water?
I don't do anything. There's a filter underneath, a really good pumping system. Island Water Escape, Dave put that in years ago.
Nice.
And I just, added rocks and my heron, and I just kind of had some fun with it.
I love the heron, yes.
Yes.
Beautiful. You don't have fish yet.
I used to have fish. I tried 3 times, and the raccoons enjoyed sushi, and I felt so sorry for the fish, and I just thought, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I can't do that.
Yeah, we're not here to feed the raccoons.
I know.
That's for sure. The birds maybe, but not the raccoons.
I know. So and the birds do have a bath, which is really cool to watch. And my cat loves watching all the birds bathing from the inside window right
Where
there.
she should be,
yeah.
yes.
So I thought we'd maybe go around to the side and then head to my really nice little quiet Zen backyard.
Excellent.
This used to be all grass, just grass, hot sun. And the more I started to sort of fill in, the more I realized how this is kind of a very narrow entryway to my backyard, which is where I spend a lot of time just zoning out. I put in tall grasses. They're clumping grasses, but you still have to keep them trimmed for some privacy, because my neighbor's house is right there, even though they're lovely neighbors. And then along here, it gets a lot of shade. I made a little sweet corner here with a little mirror and hostas. But what I did was I started putting my hostas in pots. And I realized the slugs and the snails were not chomping the leaves. And also it gave a real lift to the beds, and it sort of gave another dimension. So you can see down here, I've done the same thing with the hostas in the pots. And just above you is another laurel that actually is a great big that fills in this big bare space of the house. And again, another shape is a flat fan pancake in the spring, and it just fills in this gorgeous spot. I also put vines in to sort of fill in the spot and give it some dimension. These are two vines you don't turn your back on because you never know what's going to wrap around your neck. This is a chocolate vine, and this is a beautiful clematis called, I think it's Sweet Autumn Love. It is a very rare, fragrant clematis. It's got little tiny purple leaves, and you can see from the buds that in another 2 weeks this is going to be covered with purple little tiny clematis. It's just incredible. The sun this June absolutely fried my coral bells, my heuchera. My lilies are brown and fried. Lilies like heat, but that was just tortuous and brutal. So I've clipped them off. They'll come back, but boy, it was just so hot this June. But the hostas are great, and the holly fern are great. And then again, another big grass. And my brother makes these trellises, and that again got rid of a lot of the big wall of the house. My neighbor Ray gives me a tomato plant every year. I don't do veggies. I go to some of the local farms and get my veggies, but there was no pressure. I just had to make sure that it grew because I felt guilty about it.
There we go. Yeah.
So this is my side entrance.
Nice rock. I love that boulder. Well, it's not a boulder. It's more of a slate.
My brother, for housewarming, gave me 2 slabs of this rock he found way up somewhere. Apparently that's petrified wood in there.
Wow.
And then these little glass balls, you might see kind of down in there, they're from the Restore. So I go to the Restore and I look at what can I change these lovely little things into. And so all of those are old lamp glass balls from the 1970s.
You know. Someone else's treasure.
That's right. So this is my entry to my backyard, which we can go through and have a look at. So I just love mirrors in the garden. I just think they add so much. It doesn't matter if you have a small yard or a large yard. They just add light and reflection, and you get to see your garden twice in one shot. So it's just great. 2 things to remember with mirrors. First of all, put them where no birds are going to see them and think there's like an enemy bird fighting it. So keep it safe for birds so that they can be safe. And the second tip is, of course, do not put it in direct sunlight where you're going to get a sharp ray of sun coming down. We have enough hot sun right now in the world, so let's just keep that in mind as well. But I think if you can find them at the Restore and at consignment stores and thrift stores, there's all kinds of mirrors. They just don't owe you a thing, and they add so much beauty to your garden.
And now we're entering the backyard, which has really been transformed from the bare lawn that we saw in the photo. And lots of potted white flowers. Now we're going to go and find Linda and find out what the tour is in the backyard. Lovely petunias, I think. Nice hydrangeas just coming out, beautiful blues. And there she is.
Hi! I wanted to show you my little Zen corner. I have a very, very small yard here. It's very narrow and small, and yet you can come around and anybody can have a lovely little spot for a summer nap, reading, glass of wine, cup of tea. A little water feature here, bubbles for me. I get to view my hydrangeas and vines and everything around here in just a quiet spot. Eventually the ivy will come up over the trellis in a few years, so it'll be a lot shadier back here. Behind me is just a beautiful great big grass. Again, it gets cut down in the fall, but it adds a privacy from the back alley because I'm on a back alley. And in the black-eyed Susans are coming out soon. And in the corner is a special spruce called a cupressina. And it's a special spruce that is made, has been, I don't know, created for small urban yards. It grows like a cylinder, tall and skinny. I need to have it shaved in next March. But it's just in the corner, and it again adds that privacy. It was only as tall as the fence about 10 years ago, and here we are. It's just beautiful. And my petunias took off this year. They're supertunia, so they're like 2 feet wide, and they just took off in this swath of color. My liatris is coming out with the purple. I think you notice I like purple. And then on my little deck here, I've just got some euonymus petunias, pots to sort of give it a little bit of enclosure. I did have Virginia creeper all along the fence, which I loved, and I know you have to be careful with it, but I took it out when the fence posts were replaced last year. I put in it's called a mile a minute vine. Now if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what is, so you have to be careful with this one too. But eventually I want it to go along the fence, over the gate, which my wonderful brother built for me, and over into the metal that I've put up there to have sort of a holding for it. So I think it'll be all kind of this back to having this green enclosure in this little yard. So you can see you don't have to have a great big yard to be able to enjoy gardening, to make some spots for yourself that you can enjoy, some shade, some beautiful flowers and color, and just kind of make your own special spot. The nicest thing someone said to me once was, I could do this. I'm the gardener here, and I created it, and I just love gardening, and it's very peaceful hobby to have. So I hope you've enjoyed the little tour, and thank you so much for coming, and I hope you got some tips, and that you'll just have a lovely rest of the summer.
Linda, thank you so much on behalf of the Horticultural Society. It's been a great pleasure to come and look at your creation, and it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. And I imagine it changes every year if you change out the flowers and the plants a little bit. But,
especially with annuals.
Yes, that's probably a nice little palette changer. But it's great, and thank you so much. We really appreciate
You're very welcome.
the tour.
Enjoy gardening, everybody.
Yes, and enjoy the summer.